Um, going into this game, what kind of picks and bans do you expect to see? Having seen a lot of the league, having seen how players react to the gods and stuff, and just the skill level on average of players. All right, and we're going in.
Most of the league has been pretty standard for picks and bans. We've seen a couple teams that come in with a little less experience and not really sure what to do. It kind of gives them away a little bit early on in the picks and bans, so we'll see how this goes.
So the first ban's
The
gonna be a
Wheelish
Willis.
ban, not really super surprising. Yeah, a Wheelish is just a good snowball god. Can really get out of hand and cause a lot of trouble for a mid laner. So
We have to see how. Geez, I don't know which one's which. Oh, Just Fly. So the Just Fly would be on. Geez, Warm, I believe. So Warm. See how they react. They banned the Bellona first. A really
yeah,
common first ban. We've just seen the games where she's been in. She's just dictated how the game went.
let's see here.
Do you expect to see Susanoo ban out of them out of Cahill now or no?
It's hard to say. They banned in a Wheelish. I figure if you ban in a Wheelish, you'll probably ban a Susanoo too.
Hmm.
It's just because you don't like dealing with those type of junglers. Very control oriented. Nope,
And there's the
Chage ban.
Chang'e.
So, it's technically still a jungle ban right now.
Trying to probably pick up Susanoo since they have first pick though.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes. I'm interested to see if Ganesh gets first pick. Been messing around a lot with him lately, and he still feels really strong to me.
Oh yeah, that wave clear just keeps your opponents under the tower. That dash in, and then the silence is just CC heavy. Really controls your opponent's movements, makes him think before he moves anything. And there's the Serenos ban, and that would leave Susanoo open for Cahill if he chooses to pick him up.
Yeah, and we'll see. Like I said, Ganesh is also available, so you got to pick one or the other. And the big thing with Ganesh right now too is that ultimate that's ready feels like every 20 seconds. I've never been in a team fight without having Ganesh ult up. It's such a low cooldown for Guardian's ultimates.
And Medusa first pick,
Medusa
and
pick.
we'll see
This
what
leaves a lot
Chester
open.
and Bobobo,
Let's call him Rex. A little bit easier.
but Bobobo.
Bobo, definitely Bobo.
Bobo? Okay. We'll see if they pick up the Susanoo here. Perhaps Team Puns and Stunts is confident that they can counter a Susanoo.
There it is. There's the pickup.
Hovering over it, really wanting to see what happens here.
Well, if they don't pick it up now, they've kind of showed their cards. It means they're just not comfortable with it. It means nobody has to ban it on them.
Definitely a huge decision to be made here. And Rex
Osiris
picking up
pickup, pretty
Osiris,
standard.
and Susanoo
Yeah,
right
pretty
after him.
standard picks here. Very strong meta picks. We'll see what happens with it.
Who do you think can box with this Osiris in lane? Do you think we're going to see a Chalk perhaps, or Ravana?
Chuck can clear lane, but Ravana's pretty strong right now. I personally love to go with a Vamana pick into the Osiris. I just love dancing around him. Osiris is designed to box you, and Vamana is so great at just throwing his damage and then dashing away. You can't keep up with him to box him. There's the Sun Wukong pick. Sun Wukong can box relatively well, but Osiris, if he times it right, can completely cancel out the ultimate of Sun Wukong. If he ults down on top of you, that healing's completely gone.
And that would be devastating to him.
Yeah, it's just a great counter. So he sort of countered himself here, but we'll see what happens.
And that Khepri pickup, Superman Khepri, we've seen him have a strong performance thus far in the league, and several times been banned, in fact.
Yeah, Kepri's really annoying to deal with, especially if you go with a burst-heavy team and then all of a sudden you've thrown your burst, but somebody comes back to life. It just feels very underwhelming.
Going into
Curious to
these,
see this Medusa into this Hou Yi boxing match. That's going to be a good one. It always is. It's fun just to see what happens.
I'm surprised to see that there wasn't a Ganesh pickup, but I won't be surprised if I see the Ganesh ban here to counter the heavy wave clear that they will have.
Mm-hmm.
Just on the edge of my seat, waiting to see what this next ban is here. Any idea what it will be?
I'm almost surprised Khepri got picked up with Ganesh still on the table, but...
And there's the Hunbat, so perhaps they're custom banning? I mean, Hunbat is a powerful jungler, but dedicating...
It's not usually ban-worthy.
Yeah, I mean, he's a powerful jungler. He can influence team fights, but not really. And there's the Sylvanas ban. Sylvanas heavy meta, just his healing capabilities and his team fight potential make him worthy of a ban, I guess.
This is definitely curious picks and bans right now as far as what they're prioritizing. It's not necessarily bad, it's just interesting.
Do you
Certain
think that
teams
they're
just don't like to deal with certain comps. That's just what it comes down to, and I bet that's what that Humbot's ban is. Just overall, we don't want to deal with it. Let's just throw it out right now.
a good observation there. Do you think that that they're perhaps custom banning to the opponents, having looked them up on Smite forge, checking out their recent played god, checking out their god masteries and KDAs?
It's possible, but I doubt it's somebody's no life pick, or they would have banned it much sooner. I doubt it's somebody with like 4,000 worshippers, or that usually ends up taking first ban if you know what you're doing. Just get somebody off a god they're that comfortable with.
And there's a Thoth ban.
That's not really super surprising. Yeah, Thoth is still pretty meta right now, and overall in team fights, he's really strong. So.
In my opinion, he's an S+ god with that dash, with that long wave clear, and that ultimate that you can cancel just playing mind games with your opponents, making it, and the pain glyph, which just affects a team fight dramatically for the mid to backliners.
Not to mention objective push. That glyph really great at just securing objectives as far as you and your AD carry putting out extra damage even on towers. That's huge.
We've seen him played actually quite a bit in the league, especially by your team, The End.
Yeah, we like to start things off with him, just to give somebody something to deal with. Makes it fun.
Yeah. This
My
last
big thing
ban
is, try to ban us out, and I think that's where they're at right now. Everybody's trying to prove they're good enough on a god to deserve a ban.
Definitely. This first week we haven't had much to talk about, but going into week 2 we'll have so much to talk about as teams now get banned out based on how they performed in the last game. But we're going to see a lot more Ravana bans, I believe. And there's the Fafnir ban. I am surprised to see the Fafnir ban instead of the Ganesh ban.
Ganesh still open. Ganesh still open. Maybe they haven't fought against him enough to really be afraid of him yet. There's the Hades pickup. Hades is a really strong mid pick too right now. He's definitely one of the top tier gods. Since his buff or his remodel, I guess, he does so much damage.
Definitely, if you think about it, the combo is there with the Hades between the Hoi Yi, and if they can get the Ganesh into the ult with the Hoi Yi and the Hades, it's just going to be a devastating combo for whoever gets caught in that.
Definitely could be. We'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still so surprised Ganesh is on the board at this point. I have not seen him. I've yet to see him not get picked up in a ranked game.
Definitely, he just provides too much pressure. Yeah. It's a shame we won't be able to see Dodgy this week. They could be the first ones to decide whether or not Dodgy will be relevant in the league. And there's the Nox pickup to counter the Hades.
Very curious. Nox can somewhat counter Hades, but Nox has a very tough time in Conquest. Unless she starts getting ahead, she struggles.
Mm-hmm.
She's a great god at singling out somebody early on, but for big team fights, you kind of have to have somebody else helping CC you. So you need that Medusa's ult, you need the Sun Wukong stun, you need all of those things to sort of help Nox out, and she becomes very immobile when she's using her one. It's a matter of knowing when to cancel that and drop it so you can get away from damage or not.
And there's
Most
a
Nox
Camazotz
players aren't
pickup.
experienced enough.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I can definitely say that if you can get ahead of a Nox, it's going to be hard for her to come back with the roots and the because the damage is really reliant on scaling and just getting you under there. But if you're over leveling her, have the better protections, have the better items, it's irrelevant to you.
Exactly. Once she's thrown her whole kit on you, there's not much you can do about that. You're either dead or you're gonna kill her. The Camazotz pickups is good here though. I like Camazotz. I don't like him into Susanoo at all, but at least Camazotz should have the lifesteal to be able to box a little bit.
And there's the Geb pickup. So I am surprised to not see the Ganesh pickup.
Ganesh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's all right. Geb is a great god to counter Medusa though. I mean, honestly, it's probably the best god to just counter out specific other gods. When played well, such as the Inhumans have done in the past, he becomes a super reliant god at letting your team dive, letting your team get away with doing anything because you can't mess up with that Geb shield. It becomes very, very aggressive very quickly.
He becomes a great wall or a barricade, one would say.
Yes.
Oh, okay, great. And so Camazotz's high damage potential early, definitely with that lifesteal, he can aggro into them if he gets the chance. I want to see if the Nox could perhaps give him the opportunity to go in without fear of getting hit by abilities and just allow her teammate to go to town on them.
I think you'll know right here at level 1 whether or not the Susanoo and Hades are going to absolutely destroy the Nox. Nox has very weak wave clear at level 1. She's got a really long cooldown and very limited ability that she can do. Almost everyone has to pick up her 2 for that clear. And whereas it's a great silence bubble, you know you're never in fear of actually getting hit by it as the enemy. So you can play as aggressive as you want. So I think right here we'll see the experience of the Nox player and the aggression level of the Hades and Susanoo.
Definitely.
It also will keep Camazotz far back.
Yeah. Quick question, Trent. Do you have your the X on your bottom, or does it just say "Oh, return to lobby"?
Just return to lobby right now.
All right. Hopefully, we'll give it the 3 to 5 minutes customary, and then if not, we'll leave and then jump right back into it. But what kind of combos do you expect to see out of the Warm?
I expect the Sun Wukong to play super aggressive. I'm sorry, Warm is the team with Just Fly. They can kind of get away with doing a lot right now. Just Fly can pull somebody in right into that Hades combo from Chester. Hades is a great god, like I said, with that burst damage. If you pull somebody into a minion wave, you're almost guaranteed to kill somebody with Hades. Absolutely insane damage out.
Definitely. And on the team of Puns and Stun, what do you expect?
With Puns and Stuns, I think they're going to be looking for a big Sun Wukong stun every team fight so that Nox can at least delete somebody, and then they're going to back off and re-engage. That would be the best combination for them, to just keep backing off and re-engaging. Neither team has a really serious heal comp. Hades obviously has a great heal himself, but for his team to get it, it doesn't really work well. So I think the best thing they could do is back off and re-engage and really try to focus down that Hades early. Hades has to be such close range. If they just choose to pick on him and that Geb's not right on point, they're going to delete the Hades awfully quick.
That can be scary. Hades needs to get tanky, get the lifesteal, get the heal. Warlock Sash commonly built on him, or Bancroft's talent if you're behind.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, in the late game, that Geb shield will be virtually impenetrable while Hades is ulting. So they're not going to be able to burst him down in ults. They're going to have to be very smart about their decision making when it comes down to him coming into a big team fight and ulting. There's so much CC on the side of with Susanoo and Hades. It's not going to be pretty if you get caught.
Definitely.
I mean, as much as we're talking about that, the Nox and Camazotz combo can also be really strong. I mean, with Nox, if you land your grab and you hold somebody still for 3 seconds, they're almost always going to be dead. I just started loading in, by the way.
Me too.
Camazotz getting free ability off onto a still target, he's going to be doing a lot of damage. I'm curious to see if he still builds a little bit into attack, any sort of AA damage instead of ability damage, but Camazotz can go both ways, honestly. It's really going to be his choice as far as what he wants to do. It kind of depends on if he's going to be soloing out Susanoo in the jungler or just trying to be in team fights, throw those devastating abilities.
Definitely. And apparently there's been a problem with the swaps. So as far as I understand, as long as the other team agrees to let you go back and you just pick the exact same gods, there shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, sometimes it does glitch, and unfortunately, it just happens more and more in custom games lately, it seems.
Yeah. They might have paused the game. We'll see what happens. Alright, so it looks like that they're going to have to restart because there was a glitch that wouldn't let them actually switch between their gods. So we will have to go through that whole thing again. Aren't you excited,
Not a
Trent?
problem. They should just do a draft. Hopefully they just do a draft and load in right away.
With the no picks and bans, Michael is handling that right there. Warm. Oh, so that's what Warm stands for. It stands for War Machines.
Gotcha. Very cool.
It was actually, the way they spelled it was capital W, lowercase a, and then capital R, lowercase m. I was quite confused. Did not really care, so I just put it in as Warm. I actually prefer the name War Machines, wouldn't you?
It'd be a little bit better than calling somebody just Warm. Sounds too much like Worm. Alright, so should we go ahead and leave the leave the spectate mode?
I just have to. They're contacting me and they're gonna restart it. Yep. So we'll have to leave this, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll just restart that.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
And we will be right back.